you're new to my class, I teach a combination of yoga therapeutics and yin. And yin is where we hold the pose for just a little bit of time. Traditional yin holds for like 3 to 8 minutes. I never hold you guys that long, usually about 1.5 minutes. It's just to work on alleviating the stress and stretching the fascia in our bodies. So, and I try to target it for our CrossFit workouts throughout the week. Today, I need you guys to have a couple of blankets or towels. I don't know if you saw that. Does everybody have a couple of beach towels or blankets? Yeah, can I get thumbs up? Or I'm going to give you guys a second. Okay. So a couple people are going to go grab those right now. If you already have them, let me show you how to roll them. I typically start people on their backs in order to downregulate the body, just to start getting into that parasympathetic nervous system. So we're going to take the blanket roll, like this is a Mexican blanket. If you have a beach towel, it's about this large. You're just going to take it and roll it into a long, like noodle, like a cannoli. So you just take it and roll it. It doesn't need to be too thick because we're going to lay on it on our backs. So then you place that at the top of your mat or where you're going to lay. Your second blanket you take in like a square, anything to sort of prop the head. It can be larger or smaller. And you kind of have to see where that's going to be. But that's how we're going to have them. And I'll just make sure everybody has their stuff. If you already have it and you want to go ahead and lay down, you put your hips at the end of the blanket roll. And it goes down the long part of your spine. And then you grab that pillow and puts it under your head. Your feet are going to be either stretched long or bent knees if it bothers your low back, and the knees just knocking together. So that's where we're going to start. I'm just going to make sure everybody has their stuff, and then I'm going to mute you. Does anyone have questions about that? Does someone have a question? I can't hear. No? All right, I'm going to mute you guys.
Where does the square blanket go?
Oh, sorry. The square blanket goes at the top for your head. So I'm shorter, so my square blanket is here. And when you get into it, you'll know. Like you'll come back on your back, and then you place that square blanket on the head. So it's just to prop the head up a little bit.
Hold on.
We're still waiting for some people to get set up. But if you're on your blanket roll, you can just start to tune into the breath here. Come on. I'm just checking you guys. We'll start in a couple minutes. Just gonna wait a couple more minutes for people.
Let's see. Come on, stop. Okay.
All right, so everybody's lying down on their blanket.
No,
I'm gonna mute people. So tuning into the breath here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to unmute you guys. I can't, because I've never done this before. So forgive me.
Jane, click on the 3 dots or click on participants and then
Oh,
mute.
thanks, Javi. Wait, hold on. Oh no, now I'm off the screen. Okay, what do you do?
Click on participants and it should see a mute button or a mute all.
Okay, thank you.
Like that.
Thank you. I see it. Thank you. All right. Okay, so tuning into the breath here on our backs. We're going to take an inhale, deep inhale into the belly. Open the mouth, exhale out. And again, like that, deep inhale into the belly. Open the mouth, exhale out the air. So just lying here, relaxing, allowing the central nervous system to calm down. Just tuning into the breath here. And in a moment, I'm going to cue you to activate the breath work, which we'll do on a 4-part breath. And it'll allow us to continue to downregulate the body. So on my count, we will breathe in for 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Another regular breath like that. And exhale. And let's do that again. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Regular breath in. Regular breath out. And let's do that one more time. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now just tune into your own breath. You can count the breath if that feels good to you, if that helps you stay centered. At any point while we're working today and your mind starts to get distracted, you can come back to that 4-part breath. We're just softening here. So stay with the breath. One more breath there. We're going to slowly roll off the blanket to our right side. So you're rolling into sort of a fetal position. You can just come off the blanket. The right arm is stretching out. I'm just going to settle for a moment. And then kind of push the blankets just out of the way for now. We're going to dynamically open up. So hands together. And then open out wide. And hands back together as a clasp. So just opening the upper back here. Do it on your own breath. One more time like this. And then we'll sweep the arm up and overhead, making a big giant circle with the arm and having the hands meet back. So big, wide open. And hand comes back. Just opening the upper back. And last time like that. All right, now roll over to the opposite side. And we'll do that same movement. So hands are together, opening back. It's like an open twist, just kind of slowly opening, using the breath. Last time like this before we take the circle. And now when your hands meet together, you'll circle the arm wide, making a giant circle in one direction. One more like that. All right, so now just come to your backs. And we'll open up the hips just slowly again. So starting with the one knee into the chest, extend it long, opposite knee up into the chest, extending long. So you can go as slowly or quickly as you like here. Just moving and opening the hips. We'll do one more time on each side. No rush. And then this time, when you get to the left side, you'll hold that knee into the chest. You're going to bring it out slightly wide. And then bring the opposite hand on top and keeping the hips on the ground, just slightly stretch that knee across the body. You should feel this as an outer hip stretch in the left outer hip. And then release. We'll bring the right knee in, pulling the knee up into the armpit, just a little bit like a half happy baby breath here. And then we place the left hand on top of the knee and sort of stretch it across the body just slightly. And then release. So the next thing we're going to do is similar to what we do with the strap work, but we don't have straps today. So we're just going to bend our knee up, straighten it up, clasp our hands firmly behind the thigh. And you want to make sure you're keeping your head and your shoulders on the ground. If you're having to really struggle, I would say see if you can grab yourself some sort of belt or a strap. Just do your best. So we're just going to hold the left legs extended up to the sky. Breathing into the stretch. And now let's make this into a dynamic movement. So we're going to bend the knee and then straighten again. And just keep going like that on your own time. We'll do this 4 or 5 times, depending on your pace. And now extend again. And let's roll the ankle. So we're just going to point the toes to the left and then to the right. And you should feel it in the shin, outer shin here, and inner calf. A couple more times like that. All right. So now we're going to bring that knee in to make a half happy baby. So you have 2 options here. You can just do like we did in the beginning, where you just bend the knee into the armpit. Or if you're able and you have the mobility, you can clasp the outer foot. So you want to pin that right hip onto the ground. And really, clasping the outer foot isn't the goal. The goal is to have a nice groin stretch. So if you can't reach that foot, no big deal. You're just going to bring that knee into the armpit. And again, we're relaxing the head and neck here. We don't want to grip. Come back to the breath. Last breath here. And we'll release that leg long. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. So clasping behind the leg. Breathing here. And we'll make that a dynamic movement. So bending and straightening the leg. At your own pace. One more time. And then we'll lengthen long and we'll do the ankle work again. So just slightly turning the foot to the right and to the left, just so you feel that stretch in a different spot. We're doing some jumping. We're doing double unders and whatnot this week, and it's nice to stretch the shins and the calves. And then grabbing the knee and bringing it into the armpit for half happy baby. And if you're able, you can clasp the foot. It's not the goal. One side might be different than the other. You may be able to do it on one side and not the other. It doesn't matter. Our bodies are not symmetrical. Breathing here. One more breath. And slowly release. Stretch the leg long. Just notice if you feel different in the thighs here. And then let's bring the knees up into the chest. We'll just take a gentle twist. Arms are out like a T, and you're gonna roll to your right side. Just a gentle twist to release that. One more breath on this side. Slowly roll the knees up to center and bring them over to the left side. One more breath here. And from here, I'm just gonna have you roll onto your left side and come up to a gentle seated position. So for this one, since we have blankets, let's prop ourselves up on a blanket, which is really nice. So you wanna fold the blanket so it's like a square again, and just place it. You can place both if you wanna be a little higher, but it's just a little more comfortable to sit in Sukhasana on a blanket. So Sukhasana is easy cross-legged position, whatever position in your body feels best. So you can have the feet together in butterfly if that feels good. You can just be crossed. And then we'll do some gentle seated cat-cows from here, rounding, grabbing the knees, and then extending the heart forward. And just keep going like that. Round, extend. So when you extend forward, let's rock the hips forward so we get a little stretch. And one last time. All right, so next we're gonna clasp the hands behind and just get a little bit of a chest and a bicep stretch here. So clasping the hands behind, head is forward, inhaling here. Release, clasp with the opposite thumb on top, and stretch again. Breathing here. And release. Keep the clasp. We're gonna bring the clasp to our right side of our body. So our hands are clasped and you're just pulling that arm behind. And then we're gonna bring our right ear to our right shoulder. Should feel a nice neck stretch here. And to release, we're gonna bring the chin to the chest and just scooch the hands to the opposite side, look up, and then opposite ear to opposite shoulder. And release. And let's do a little bit of dynamic side bending from here. So let's switch the cross so that our knees don't get achy. And we'll just sweep the left arm up and over to the side, and then sweep to the opposite side. We're gonna move dynamic here and see if each time you can get a little bit deeper in that side stretch. Moving with the breath. Let's do 2 more times through. There's no rush. Take your time with it. You can move as quickly or as slow as you like. All right. So the next stretch we're gonna do is cattail. So some of you have done it and some of you haven't. I'm gonna demo it very quickly because it involves a twist and you might not be able to see me. I think it's most comfortable to lay in your blankets, especially if you're outside on a hard surface, because we lay on our side of our hip and it can get a little achy. So place your blanket long so that it's gonna support your body, or your towel should be kind of body length. And then I'm gonna demo first, so don't do it, just watch. I'm gonna come on my side. I'm stretching the body long and supporting my head with my arm. I'm gonna reach behind and do a quad stretch. That's where we start. That's the very first part. We're gonna hold it for a little bit of time, but I'm gonna go quickly right now just to show you. So from there, we start to walk this top foot forward as far as it'll go. And once it's there, you start to roll onto your backs and you release the arm. You have the option, if you don't like this quad stretch, that you can release that leg and just make it into a full twist. It's totally up to you. Some people like to feel the quad stretch the whole time. So that's where we'll go and I'll walk you through it. Let's start on our right sides. Right hip, coming down on your arm. So once everybody's there, you can kind of support yourself by using that top foot and moving it maybe 4 inches forward, and then grabbing the bottom foot and clasping. So holding the quad stretch. One more breath in the quad stretch. And then start to walk that top foot forward as far as it'll go. And once you feel like you've gotten it as far as it'll go, you just start to wind back onto your backs and you release the head. The right arm stretches long And now is your option. If you want to release the quad stretch because it feels like it's too much, do it. If you release just to test it, you may not be able to get it back. So consider that before you do that. Let's go 3 more breaths here and see if you can make them those even breaths, the 4-part breath. So just inhaling, pause, exhaling with an even breath. And now to come out of this, we're just going to roll onto our backs. So make your way onto your back and pause for a moment. You might want to take some windshield wipers just to release that. So windshield wiper is just moving the knees to the left and to the right. That helps relieve the low back. And then we'll roll onto our left sides and do the opposite side. So coming onto our left sides, supporting the head. And then using the top foot as a little bit of a kickstand, you'll grab the bottom foot to stretch the left thigh. And 2 more breaths here. And then start to walk that top foot out as far as it'll go. And once it's there, you release the head and bring the shoulders as best you can onto the back. Lying back. And again, you can make the decision to release the foot here if you want. And stretch the right arm out like a T. That's up to you.
Are you ready or not? That's all because I'm ready to roll.
Holding here, staying with the breath. Stay with that even breath. And then slowly come onto your backs. And again, you can take whatever dynamic movement feels best to release all of that. You can windshield wiper. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is a chest stretch. So we can keep that blanket down. I'll demo it again. We're just gonna come to our bellies. Our left arm is stretched out, and we're just gonna roll to our side here. And then when you're ready, you can kick back. So everybody come onto your bellies. We'll stretch the left arm out. Roll to the left side. You should feel a deep stretch in the chest here. And if you want to go deeper, you can kick that leg back. Breathing into the stretch. Let's go 2 more breaths here. And then slowly roll forward onto your bellies. You'll use your hands just to make a little pillow, resting the head. And then opposite side. So right arm goes out, and you're gonna roll onto your backs, roll onto your sides. And when you're ready, you'll kick that leg back. You don't have to kick it back. If that's enough sensation for you, you're just gonna stay there. Staying with the breath. A lot of times when we have a very strong sensation like this, the mind gets busy. See if you can just stay present with the breath, working through it. Last breath here. And we'll roll onto our bellies. Just make a pillow again with the hand. Head can go onto the hand. So the next stretch we're gonna do, if you can roll up to seated, I'll demo it again. We're gonna do half shoelace. Now this might be too much in some people's, if you have a very stiff body, this is too much. I'm gonna show you an alternative, but I'm gonna show this pose first. It's half shoelace. So I'm bending my left leg over my right, stacking it. And then from there, I'll fold forward. It's a deep hip stretch. You can also fold into it like a twist. You'll see what feels best to you once you're in it. The alternate is to come into a seated pigeon, or you can do the pigeon on your back. That's the alternative. So see how it goes. Let's start with half shoelace. If you feel like, no, that's just not for me, then you're gonna take the supine pigeon or the seated pigeon. Stretching our left leg over our right to start.
Jane, your bottom leg is straight, right?
I'm sorry?
Your bottom leg is straight out.
Yeah, let me do it to the side so you can see. Sorry, thank you. So bottom leg is straight, and I'm crossing the top leg. I'm trying to line my knee on top of my knee, and it's bent. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay. So get there. We'll just start upright. And then you're gonna take a breath, and if you want, only if you want, you can fold forward. This is a very deep pose, so you wanna just be careful. And then some people may like to fold over like a twist, which means bringing the hands to the right and folding into it. That may feel good to you in your body and it may not. You can test it and see, and if you don't like it, you can just come back. Breathing in. We're gonna hold this for 4 more breaths. Last breath here. Slowly come out. Let's bend our knees and do a little windshield wiper just to release that work before we go to the next side. And then we'll lengthen the left leg long. Right leg comes over, or you can take that supine pigeon if that felt better. And maybe one side you can do the shoelace and one side you can't. It's no big deal. You can just do the supine pigeon on this side if that doesn't work for you. And then we'll take a breath here and fold over. Staying with the breath. Staying still. And if you want to do that twist, you can do the twist now. Don't push it, just only if you feel like you need it. Be mindful here. Two more breaths here. And slowly start to unwind. Let's take that windshield wiper again. All right, the next pose we're going to do is Parsva. So that is where we have our, it's almost like a straddle. However, our left foot is going to be coming in. So the knee is bent here, and the right leg is out like a straddle. And you can grab your blankets if you want to prop up just a little bit. I'm just going to demo quickly, and then I'll walk you guys through it. So I'm going to sweep my arm out to meet my foot, and I'm going to stretch my top arm long. And then I personally like to clasp the head here. It gives me a little bit more of a side body stretch. That's a personal decision. Some people might like to have their arms long. If you are feeling very stiff, you might want to prop your arm up on that blanket and you can clasp. You'll see what feels best when you get into it. So let's have everybody stretch their right leg out like half straddle, and the left leg is bent in. If you find that you're rounding, you just want to prop yourself up on blankets. So you can take your towel. Like if you have a very stiff body, you might like to do that. And that would be just folding that towel up so that you can come up a little bit higher and allows your hips to be in the right position. All right, so from there, we're going to sweep that right arm out to meet our foot. And the left arm's going to sweep up and overhead for a side body stretch. And you can see if you like bending and clasping the head. See what works best for you. Breathing into the side body here. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last breath. Release the arms up. Stretch the legs forward. And we'll just pedal out our legs just to get rid of that sensation. And then bring the right leg out to the side and half straddle. I'm sorry, left leg out. The right knee bends in. We're sweeping that left arm to grab the foot or just to go as far as it can go. Sweep the right arm up and over. And then you can see if you want to clasp your head. I forgot to cue the blankets, so if you need them, just grab them and prop yourself up. Breathing into that side body here. We're rooting down with that right hip. It should stay glued onto the ground. And just notice in your body, does this side feel different? Stay super present. Two more breaths. And then slowly start to unwind, bringing both legs forward, pedaling out the knees here just to release that work. And we'll do one more similar, but the leg is straight. So left knee is bent in and the right leg is stretched long. And we're just going to stretch forward over that leg. So it's a hamstring stretch again. Releasing the head down. And slowly come up. We'll switch sides. Left leg's long, right knee's bent. And slowly come forward, just as far as you can go. And slowly release. We'll do one more twist before we take Shavasana. So just come onto your backs. If you want, and it's probably a little bit more comfortable to set up for Shavasana this way, just place the towel or the blanket under your backs so that you'll be in a comfortable spot for Shavasana. We'll come onto our backs. The right leg is extending long. The left knee comes into the chest, and we'll bring that knee across the body. Left arm stretches out. And slowly come back to your backs, bending both knees. Left leg stretches long this time. Right knee into the chest, right arm out, and roll over to the left side. Slowly come back to your backs. We'll set up for Shavasana. I'm just going to make a suggestion if you have kids or pets around and it's going to be hard to lay in corpse pose. Just go to the wall or come to your sofa and not put your legs up the wall or your knees on the sofa, just so you can calm the nervous system in our last pose here. So others who can lay on their backs, go for it. If you're laying on your backs, you're just going to tuck the shoulder blades under slightly to lift the chest. Arms are out, legs are out. We're going to take a 4-minute Shavasana here. Deep inhale into the belly. Open the mouth. Exhale out. Shavasana. Start to deepen your breath. Coming back into present awareness. Bring some subtle movement to your fingers and your toes. Bring your knees to your chest and roll to your right side. Coming up to a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed to stay grounded. Let's bring the hands to heart center, and we'll take one more inhale together and an exhale. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me today.